Hello everyone, I am Faisal Amir Malik, CTO Huawei Enterprise Business for Middle East. I hope you're doing good and staying safe with your loved ones. Dear audience, digital revolution is underway and is accelerating the connections between people and things, and it is completely transforming the way in which we live and work. For enterprises of all shapes and sizes, applications in this new era and intelligent world require low latency, large capacity, and more connections per user, higher bandwidth, lower packet loss, and enabling faster, more secure, and more efficient predictive operations and maintenance of the network. New technologies such as cloud and AI are quickly integrating with connectivity. The connectivity industry is seeing 5 exciting changes, from IoT to connected intelligent twins, from office to office plus production and convergence of LAN and WAN networks, from best effort to differentiated deterministic user experience and services, from Mbps to Gbps and any medium anywhere, from manual O&M to hyper-automated predictive O&M. These 5 changes are placing new requirements on connectivity and challenges for network managers in an enterprise. To meet these requirements and realize greater productivity, connectivity must be upgraded to next level. Therefore, to enable customer achieve their network transformation, we have introduced to you industry's highest performance campus solution with our Cloud Campus 3.0, which also provides perfect LAN and SD-WAN convergence from a single platform. Industry's fastest Wi-Fi 6 solution with our Air Engine portfolio. AI Fabric is to get your data center networks ready for AI era. And last but not the least, our software-defined WAN and security solutions. All of these solutions to be managed by Huawei's AI and big data-based O&M platform, iMaster NCE. Exciting, right? We will cover all of this and much more in our Tech Talks and online and offline sessions to be followed. Huawei and Middle East Enterprise Business has launched Tech Talk series webinars in 2020, which built a bridge for our customers to understand Huawei's solutions and products and provide a platform for Middle East ICT engineers to learn about our solutions. This year, we will focus on our network portfolio, covering campus and data center networks with 7 webinars, introducing Huawei's latest solutions and products to customers through demos and presentations. We would like our customers to know the latest technologies, trends, and their details. We are eager to build a network technologists community in Middle East region this year, and you will see a lot of steps being taken around that. Huawei is preparing the Datacom Innovation Lab. It is expected to be launched in July. It's a wonderful space for Middle East network professionals to understand network technologies and our solutions in a much more deeper way. They can practice new technologies here to accelerate digital transformation and particularly network transformation of their organizations with Huawei. The Huawei Middle East Enterprise IP Elite Club is an online community based on LinkedIn. We welcome you all to join this wonderful community of professionals for the Middle East region. With this, I welcome you all to Huawei Tech Talks. I am sure it will be beneficial for you and your organization. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye.
Good morning, everyone. Today is the day I'm going to show you a live demo of our Huawei Autonomous Driving Networking solution. Now, we have talked about it in the previous 2 webinars. First, I gave an introduction, then we went into a detail, but today we will do a live show. And when we will do a live show, you will understand that once we talk about that how a network is autonomous driving, what does it actually mean? Now, you know, we have launched industry's first level 3 autonomous driving network solution, or ADN. And it has a powerful intent engine, and using that, you can automate the full life cycle of data center. Now, if everyone can see my screen, this is what our controller looked like just before the launch of the ADN solution or the previous version. Even this was very intuitive, very easy to configure, but this is how the controller, the main screen of configuration look like. You would have your workspace where you will configure your tenants, your VPCs. VPCs were your secure zones where you will create, your policies, and you will create networks that will only talk to each other. You will do your network planning and construction uh, in from this tab. You will do your O&M and monitoring, and you could go to the system summary, see what is happening overall. But after the launch of new version, we have added something very, very cool that is completely distinctive in the industry, that takes the guesswork out of your configuration. And not only that, it automates to an extent that the things that you used to do in hours, you can do in minutes. Now, we can talk a lot, but let me actually show you how that actually works. You can go and select the autonomous driving mode. Once you select an autonomous driving mode, the screen changes to this. This is a completely new portal. Here, you can use intent-driven engines to automate a lot of things. Now, of course, we have 21 intents built in, spanning the life cycle of data center. And this is a truly application-centric environment, not the marketing terms that people used to say that we are application-centric. And at the end, you ended up configuring all the network, uh, you know, VRFs and bridge domains manually and then saying they are application-centric. I will show you today how this intent engine is actually going to work. You can click on the smart robot and the intent engine page opens. Now you see in the planning, you can construct a new DC. In the construction, you have intent for application launch, application management, application interconnection. In O&M, you have a lot of intents, for example, for server expansion, for device expansion, for device replacement, key service assurance. You can do intelligent event management. You have a network change detection. What will happen if you are going to change the network? Port replacement. What will happen if you are going to replace a port and automate that process? And of course, the device replacement itself in the optimization. And that is the full life cycle of data centers, right? You have your planning, construction, O&M, optimization. At the moment, you can do link expansion automatically. Now, what I will do here, and we will couple of applications, a network for a couple of applications. The first one, we will customize by ourselves. The second one, we will use the template we just created. I will show you some very cool functions, how the application rollout can be very, very quick. We'll, after the application is rolled out, we will go back to the old GUI and see what actually happened. Then I'm going to also show you a service rollback function, which is amazing and completely unique in the industry. Now, enough talking. Let's start our intent-driven networking. Let's start autonomous driving network. All right, so I will go to an application launch. This is our smart assistant. He says, I have identified your intent to bring applications online. Please collect the application intents. You can select a template or you can do a customized orchestration. For the first one, remember when we make an application, maybe it can belong to different security zones. The zones have to communicate with each other. We used to plan it all manually. And then what we used to do is create each zone one by one, create interconnections would take a lot of time. Here, I'll show you, even when you are doing a customized application, how quickly and wonderfully you can do it. So let's see. This is my payment. I select the tenant. I say, I will customize the application model. Here, I will design my application on one page. How will I design my application? I can design all the security zones together. So let's say this is my first security zone, and this is where my payment servers are. Pay me, whatever. And automatically system will allocate resources for that one. Here I have two different services or two different subnets. I can define them all here. And I say service name, pay me one. And let's say there are 10 servers that belong to this particular part. And then I select the other service. I'm designing on one page and I say pay me 2. And let's say it has 5 servers. Now I created 2. Now this is where we will connect to the internet, or the users are going to connect to us as well. So I drag an external network. I name it anything. The external networks, of course, of our data centers are already decided because you have 1 or 2 egresses, not infinite number of them. I will do an interconnection between these two. And let me call it anything. And the first security zone is defined. So it is orchestrating an application model, and it is going to see how the application is going to work. Now, we'll have to wait a little bit, and after that, it will be up and running. All right, so now let's create another security zone. And this is what we call a billing zone, because the payment app is going to talk to the billing app. Again, we can select the security level, select the fabric. We will just say, okay, bill me. Bill me. And we are going to drag a service here. And we call it bill me 1. Let's say it's a single subnet service. We have 5 servers here. These 2 applications need to interconnect with each other. And I will say interconnect. So you can see I'm just designing my application at one page. Let me go back to the external network. Next. And connect it to it. So I have designed an application. It will be 2 security zones. They will talk to each other, and one of the security zones is going to connect to an external network. After that is done, I will save this as a template. Then we will launch another application using the same template, automating the whole process even more. So I will call it payment app 1 or 11, whichever. So I save the template, and I will go to the system and say solution recommendation. The system is automatically going to calculate multiple solutions and give you an optimal solution to do. Once that is done, you click on the design and do start to design. System is going to look into everything, and then this is the very, very cool part. Remember, in SDN, because we add a lot of abstraction on the top, you can cause a problem. You may not have enough resources across all the data centers, which can cause a problem. You can break an external existing connectivity. We have a simulation function. It is going to simulate everything. And then after the simulation is done, then we can do the configuration delivery. Now you see, we just designed a network. But as you can see, in this, we are creating multiple things, logical routers, logical switches, external connections, and this is what our application is going to look like. Once that is done, I will just click on configuration delivery. And you will see that the configuration is automatically being delivered. And here we have our first application is already rolled out. This is my payment app. We have done it in under 5 minutes. And that is how quick it is. Now, I will show you actually what happened, how many things were automatically configured. So I will go to my tenant. I will come here. This is my tenant, demo intent. You see, I have created two security zones. These security zones are connected to each other. And this is all the configuration you used to do manually. In two subnets, created a connection with the external network, created another security zone, which is not connected to the external network, obviously. And we created a connection between the two security zones automatically. All of this from one design page. How cool is that? And my application is already launched. The full network for the application is ready. And not only that, you are in the actual application network view. You can see your application. You can see how they correspond to anything. You can also go to the logical network and see the security zones that you have created. As you can see, we have created some security zones which are connected to each other. But let me go back to the application network. So within 5 minutes, you designed and launched an application very, very quickly. Let's say after some time you want to launch an application, which is a similar application. It will also have two zones. It will also connect to the internet, but it is for some other service, let's say payment for some other sort of links. Now here, if you have already created a template, which I have done, the whole process can be automated even further. And this is something that I'll show you. You can again go to the application launch. This time, I will say the application is payment app 2 or whatever. This name, of course, will depend. This is a template we saved, remember? We can say use the template and automatically the template is there. After that, if you want to customize the template a little bit, if you, for example, want to change the name of your PayMe1 to, let's say, PayMe11, automatically the subnets will be different and you want to change some instances, then you can also do that. For the purpose so that I can show you that they are different, I will quickly do that. So we are in the payment tab 2. I will do some changes. I will do payment 11. I will call it 22, just so that we can distinguish between them. And I will call it 11 as well. That's it. We had already designed it. This is my payment app 2. And we will go to and say do solution recommendation. Again, the same process is going to happen. The system is going to calculate. Together, I will show you the difference between multiple solution as well. And you go to the design phase. And this is the full recommendation of what is actually going to happen. Once you are going to create, you will create two security zones. They will talk to each other, everything from one intent page. Once you click start to design, you go to the simulation mode. Again, system is going to do a full simulation. We can create the logical networks. We can create the logical routers or VRFs. We can connect to the external network. We can see what is going to happen, what is not going to happen. Devices have enough resources. The simulation is a success. My configuration is not going to cause a problem. So I'll do the configuration delivery. Just note, we are only 10 minutes into the demo. I have already launched the application network of two different applications. This is how fast an automatic autonomous driving network is. So you can see your solution delivery results. You can see the configuration that you have delivered across different devices of your leaf and spine architecture, and you can finish that off. Now, if you will see, we have two applications already done. Network for two applications is rolled out in under 10 minutes, and we can do it even faster if I wasn't explaining that all to you. Now, what if I want to bring an application offline? Typically, it would take deleting things in a sequence one by one by one by one. Not with our intent engine. We go to our intent engine again. Okay, let me go back. I went to the O&M mode. So let me go back to the home mode. I will go back to my intent engine and I will say, what do I want to do? I want to do application management. All the applications that I have defined are here. All right, I want to bring my payment to application offline. It will tell you when you are going to bring the application offline, what is going to be the full impact, the relationship between which services is going to be impacted. Of course, you will just click OK. Now, all the configurations that you have done are going to be rolled back. And the application is going to go offline. Okay, the application is offline. This payment too, it is offline. And now if you will go to my tenant, you will see that this second application is not going to be there. So I go to the tenant and you are going to see only one application, which is payment one and payment two. Here comes of something very, very interesting. Let's say I did this operation by mistake and I wanted to bring it online. I want to roll back this offline operation. What are my options? What can I do if I want to roll back this? Typically, in SDN environments, you can do a full network-wide rollback, which means that even other applications that you have created on a previous date will be rolled back, or you do a full tenant-wide rollback. But I just want to roll back one particular function that I have done, and that is my payment app 2 that I have brought offline. I want to do a precise service level rollback. This is what Huawei iMaster and C Fabric solution is going to offer you as well that no other vendor in the industry can. I will just click here. I will go to the Intent Management Center and I will say roll it back. You can see this is an undo button. This undo button is literally like you are undoing something in Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. And that is how you can roll back a full set of configurations that you had just done. So let's say you want to roll back the operations. I will say confirm. The system is going to now start rolling back the deletion of multiple security zone, connection to the external network, and their connections to each other. This is all going to get rolled back now. On a click of a button, the rollback is successful. I click OK. I go to home. My payment tool should be online again now, as you can see. And once I will go to my tenant, you can see full configuration of payment 2 as well. And we will just see it together now. See, you have payment app and then payment app 2. How they are connected, full configuration just by rolling back. PayMe 2 should be a security zone with 2 subnets connected to an external network. We have 2 subnets connected to an external network. PayMe 1, or sorry, Bill Me 1 should be a single subnet not connected to any external network. And they should have communication between these 2 zones together. And here you will see that both of the apps, we can talk to each other. So within a few minutes, you can launch an application, you can bring it offline, the whole configuration is deleted. And if you do a mistake, then what you can do, you can roll it back to a precise moment. The last action that you have done, you can roll it back. This is faster, autonomous than anything the industry offers. Now I can go to the logical network here. I'm just in the application network, and you will see all the zones that I already have created. You can see this is Bill Me One. I will bring it closer. For in one application, this is payment, and they are connected to each other, of course, etc. Now going back to the application network, and we are in the 3D view. You can also go to, of course, a 2D view as well. We will take a look after we go back to show you something very cool as well. Now, let's say you have launched your 2 applications already now, right? Now, what do you want to do? You want to connect these 2 applications together. But these are two different applications. Should I have to? Of course, I know that they should connect to each other in some security zone. But do I do all the configurations one by one again and plan them together? No. With our intent functions, you can do application interconnection as well on a click of a button. So I will go to my intent page. Just one second. This is actually a live environment we are hosting. And this live environment, uh, I am doing a live configuration on that. The environment is not exclusive to me, of course. There are other people using it as well. But sometimes because it is hosted far away from where I am, there can be a little slow application response. So let me go back. I will go back to my intent engine and I will say application interconnection. This is all the intents. I want to do application interconnection. So you select your application one to continue. Okay. Which is your application one? Well, it was your payment app. Which security zone you want to connect to the second application, you can select. Let's say I want to connect the billing zones together. Which services you want to connect? Let's say if you had multiple subnets, you could select which subnet should be able to talk to each other on one page. What is your second application? It was payment 2. Which security zone we wanted to do? Let's say the billing zone. We want to do the which subnet? This will be 11 subnet. All right. This is what we want to achieve. All right. I designed it in one page again, and I asked the system to calculate a solution for me. Now, system has calculated two solutions, and this they have done before as well, but we did not go into detail. This is where I will go into detail. Look at solution number 1. This is a firewall. So you are connecting two different applications together. The system thinks that an optimal solution is that you do not connect them together automatically. You go through a firewall. This firewall is integrated with our controller as well. What will happen if I select this solution? Two logical virtual systems in the firewall will be created automatically in the billing zones of both applications. And then the traffic is going to go through the logical firewall of one zone to the logical firewall of the other zone, as you can see here. And then the two subnets are going to talk to each other. So you can define your security policies on the firewalls because obviously it is two different applications talking to each other. If you will look into the suboptimal scheme, which system has also calculated, you can see the two applications are connected directly. They do not have a firewall in between. So system has calculated two solutions. One has high security. Of course, it takes more resources because you are going to, instantiate virtual systems on the firewall. But system thinks, and it is a right way, that two different applications should be connected through a firewall. The suboptimal scheme is you can connect two different applications together. Now, as a network designer, you can select anyone. Let's say you have firewalls which are not very, they don't have a lot of bandwidth and you don't want to use the firewall for this function. You can use suboptimal scheme because you are in charge at the end. Or you can select the optimal solution if you have sized your data center properly. So when the system calculates multiple solutions, it calculates multiple solutions based on a logic. Some solution will be an optimal one, which will optimize security, optimize everything. Between since it's two different applications, going through the firewall is the better design. So again, the same process we are going to do. I'm going to do start to design. Once I'm going to do that, system will ask you to simulate it. This simulation will be larger because now I'm going to create virtual firewalls. I'm going to create connections with the virtual firewalls automatically. All the bridge domains and VLANs and VRFs will automatically be created. Internal links with the firewalls. So for a full virtual system will come online. The connections will uh, to those virtual systems will be made in a secure VRF, all of this. So anyway, the simulation is a success. So I know I have enough resources on the firewall. I have enough resources on the switches. Let's do the configuration delivery. It took me, with explanation, just 5 minutes to design an application interconnection and then do it. This will translate into hundreds of lines of configuration on the devices. And takes a lot of time to actually plan it. Now you can see I'm creating my logical firewalls. I am creating links with the logical firewalls. I am creating links between the two zones. And then once that is done, I am going to do configuration delivery. And I'll just show you how many lines of configuration is actually delivered. 113 lines of configuration is delivered across multiple devices. And I did it very, very quickly, very, very easily. If you are a network admin, would you not love that? That you can actually have a truly application centric environment. You can see the applications you have created. And once you have connected them together, you can see the link between them, right? You can see the link between them. I just created this link. You can see the details of this link. All right, so these two applications are connected. Let's go to the zones and see what happened when I did that. Now we will have virtual firewalls, and then there will be a VPC connection between the firewalls. All right, so remember we connected billing zones together. So I go to payment 2 and into the billing zone. Now there should be a firewall here. See, this is my firewall, automatically created. It's a virtual firewall on a physical firewall. The link is automatically generated. The policy is automatically generated. Since I wanted to connect them two together, there is a policy between the two subnets automatically generated. All right, let's go and see in payment app 1. Did we do it? Again, we have a firewall and we have a firewall policy automatically generated. And if you go to the overview, you can see the full view of a logical network. This is my billing app, right? It is connected to my fabric, obviously. It is connected to my other billing zone in the other application, which is only connected to the fabric. And it is connected to my own payment zone, which is not only connected to the fabric, but also connected to the external network. So from one page, you can see all of that. You created the firewalls, you created the connections between them. Let's go and see the connection. Now you will see this connection will be different. The existing connections were direct because it was one application. This connection is between different applications. So you can see we have connection through the firewalls. Every VPC has its own firewall. The connection is through the firewall. You can go and do, more policies on the firewall. It's a next generation firewall, so you can enable whatever you want to do for this inter application connection. And this is how you can completely automate your data center construction part. We are just 30 minutes into a demo. We launch application networks of different applications. We deleted and we connected the applications together. We brought the applications offline. We roll back the function of the applications all within half an hour. And if you were doing it yourself, this could be done very, very quickly. Now, there are certain questions that you have already given me. And I know this overall, when you see it, it raises a lot of questions. So I am going to answer the live questions. The first question is from Yusuf Al-Bashir. How the app in a zone is getting IP? Good question. Two ways. One, you can have an overall pool defined that I have done. So automatically a subnet of that pool is assigned in every application. The second one is, let me show you. I will go back to here. Let's say you want to have a particular IP for a particular zone, right? So you don't want to divide everything from a zone. I'll go to an application launch and I will say a third application. Let's say application 3, right? And it's the same tenant. Let's say it uses the same template. Now, if you go here, you see this is automatically changing from a bigger pool that I had defined already. But you can change this. This network, you can change. You can decide what network to do. And you can also select IP version v4, IP version v6, IP version v4, and IP version v6. You can add the location where the devices are going to be online. So if you want a particular subnet, you can add it. If you want to completely automate it, make a bigger pool, and every zone is going to keep getting the pool from everyone. Once I say 10 instances, it means that I don't need more than /24. What I basically did was I defined a /16 subnet for the whole data center, and all the applications are going to keep getting the pool of /24 from each subnet. You understand that, right? So you can use a big pool or you can customize your subnet as well. Up to you. There is another question. Can we automate application internet working from intent function? Anwar, I just did it, right? That was the last thing I showed you, application internet working. It offered two solutions, directly internet working or internet working through the firewall. And I just showed you how that was done. So yes, we can do that. Of course, we can do that. Okay, if we control firewalls from iMaster, can we do manual configurations on the firewall to CLI, or we will only be able to control it via iMaster only? You can do manual configurations on the firewall. Mike, let me show you that as well. See, I will go out of this, or I will just go here. Where are my firewalls? See, this is my leaf switches, this is my spine switch, and this is my border leaf switch, and this is my firewall. Oh, this is another cool function. So let me just click on the firewall. I didn't even show it to you because we only had 40 minutes, right? So you can go to your global topology. You can select the fabric you want to do. So I want to go to my device and I want to go to my firewall. Wait, let me select the other fabric. We are not in this fabric. We are in, we have two fabrics already defined here. So I will select the fabric we were operating on. This is the actual physical topology. This is my actual physical firewall. See, you can just do an SSH login from here as well. And once you do an SSH login, you can do the configuration from the CLI. Now, we don't advise it to do it because once you are automating the whole thing, let's do it through the controller. But yes, you can do the configuration. And plus, with the controller integration, the firewall works in a VPC mode in a virtual system, right? So for every particular VPC, you actually create a virtual firewall. If you want to go and do some global configurations there, of course, you can go to the CLI. You can log in separately from the CLI, or you can even use the controller to log in directly in the CLI using SSH. All right, we have another question from Anwar again. If I create an application template, can all tenants use it? Yes, if you create an application, all tenants can use it. Now, do you want me to show it to you? Let me create another tenant. And I will call it Anwar in your name because Anwar, you asked this question. How about that? Right? So again, let me create a tenant. Let me call it Anwar. And I will delete it later. So you select which fabric. You can select all the fabrics it can belong to. You select which virtual machine management system it will connect to. Then you select the quota. Quota means how many virtual routers it can have, how many subnets it can have. We'll keep it 10, 10, 10. It is enough for our purposes. I just want to demonstrate something for you, right? So I have a tenant called Anwar. Now I want to have an application that another tenant want to use, right? So I will say application Anwar and associated tenant is Anwar. I can select it, which one I want, and I will select Anwar. And I can go to the template, and here we are. See, I can launch it. So once you create a template, any tenant can use it, or you can restrict it as well. So yes, this can be done as well. So how cool is that? How cool is that? And if you are familiar with the other solutions in the market, you will know there is nobody who is a truly application centric like we are. There is nobody who can automate everything like we do. Now, I don't have actual subnet, servers here, but let me show you something else. You click on an application, it shows you where it is going to be active as well. I just clicked on application. You could see all that legend. Now let me go to the logical networks and click on something. How you can do the mapping. Of course, the full functions of a controller are going to take a lot of time, but let me just click here. See, once I click here, it tells me which switches the configuration is actually belonging to. So there is a mapping between logical and the physical. Now, if I had added a VM, it would also show me on which leaf it is there. How cool is that? A mapping between, you can see, or I hope it is coming through well in video, a mapping between logical networks and your physical network and your application network and your physical network. Of course, we can go on for hours showing you the complete functions. The purpose of today was not that actually, right? The purpose of today was just to show you how quickly we can automate through an intent engine. And of course, we only went through the data center construction part. You can automate a lot of things. Now, if you have any other questions, please let me know. Any other questions coming through? It seems like there are no other questions. At least I did not receive it, guys. So my apologies because I am looking at it on my phones. The questions are being sent to me automatically, but you can type them in. We are already almost running out of time, but I hope today's demo was actually able to show you the true capability of my solution. This is unlike anything. When I am in Huawei for many years, when I saw it, it blew my mind. I could not believe that we could actually achieve it. This was a dream when I started working in SDN networking 3 years ago, right? That one day we will be able to achieve this. And we were able to achieve this. So cool. There is nothing like this in the market. If you want to know more about it, if you are a partner, talk to your SC. If you are a customer, talk to Huawei, talk to your partners, ask them to come back to me. I am happy to do a live demo for you with much more functions. We can go more detail and compare it. If you already have an SDN solution, compare it with your existing solution. I guarantee you, nobody in the industry can match what we have just shown you. Now, that is the end. We are almost out of time. I hope that you are as excited looking at this as I was just a couple of weeks ago when I first saw it. And I said, we need to do this demo. We need to show the world what we have delivered. Imagine how easy it is going to make the life of a network admin or an organization or a customer. How you can see all your applications, you can map them together, you can create your networks. The tedious hours of planning and applications and zone and making sure the configuration is actually working, done automatically through simulation, delivered automatically in 5 minutes. Then I made a mistake. But if I roll back 20 other things. No, precise level rollback. The last operation, you roll it back. How cool is that? For that, I will come to the end of my presentation. And I hope this live demo was worth it for all of you guys. You can also reach me. You can search my name and you can find me in different platforms. You can talk to your local partners. You can talk to your, Huawei local representatives. Ask them about this solution. Ask them how Huawei autonomous driving networking solution on our iMaster and C Fabric. And I assure you, this will make your life easier and make your networks more autonomous than they were ever before. Thank you for all your time. And that is the end from our, uh, you know, our presentation and our live demo. Goodbye.